Welcome, Sisters Loved by God, to week 3 of our Bible study series, Children of the Day. Can you believe it? You are technically at the 1/3 part of your Bible study. It's 1/3 over already. And that kind of makes me sad, but that kind of makes me happy because to me, I'm like, that accomplished. I've got a goal at the end of this. I got homework to do, and I'm accomplishing it. So I hope that encourages you tonight. You're 1/3 done. I want to start off by one of the quotes from our homework this past week. It says, "To walk before God is to travel down the highway with your spiritual sunroof wide open." Well, when I am filming this 2 days ago, from this point, it was the first official day of autumn. And when I read this, I actually think when I was doing it, it was just about to be the first official day of fall, even though it doesn't really feel like it here in Texas. But it just excites me because I'm like, cold weather's coming, all the, fires and the, the warm, yummy drinks and, things like that. And so this reminded me of fall, and I had jotted off to the side of my notes that's how it is when fall comes here in Texas. We want to be aware of the cool, crisp air and let it fill our lungs. We want to feel it on our face, and the same should be with our God. When fall comes, or when we feel God, when we enter into God's presence, that it should be like the first fall day after a long Texas summer, where we want to roll all the windows down. We want to feel His cool breeze on our face. We want to fill our lungs completely up with that cool, crisp air that is our God Daddy. So with that beautiful thought in mind, I want to delve straight into week 3. As you now know, your new name is Sister Loved by God. And I want you to think about, what is the idea that we are sisters mean to you? That we're sisters in the Lord. Paul spoke about sharing his life with the Thessalonians. And so I brought a couple objects today, and just, go along with this. How do these objects, apply to spending time together? Okay? So the first object is, where'd it go? My coffee cup. This was the easy one. The teachers always start out with the easy ones and we get harder and harder. So the coffee cup. How does this item apply to spending time together? Well, most of us in our modern day age love Starbucks, or can at least drink tea or something from there. If nothing else, you got to appreciate the good, mini vanilla bean scones. And so it's easy, when we're running around doing things, or we've just had a busy weekend, it's easy to go, "Hey sister, let's go grab a coffee." It doesn't take long, it doesn't take much money, it's not too much effort. And we feel like even though it's 10 minutes, it's such a nice break. From the hustle and bustle, and we get away from the kids, or even if you're with the kids, hot cocoa, chocolate milk, they've got it going on. But it's easy to get away and to do something like that. The second object I actually did not bring with me. It was very large, and I had to go to a volleyball game earlier and didn't really want to haul it into the gym, but it's photo albums. I have tons of these at my house. How are photo albums, how does that relate to spending time together? You thinking, well, you're working on your scrapbook album. Well, if you are like me, I'm a huge, craftaholic, and I love photos and I love photo albums. It all just meshes together so perfectly for me. And so when years ago, which of course now Creative Memories is no longer, but I used to be a part of Creative Memories, and we would get together on weekends and we would just all scrapbook. It was one of those things that it was important to me. I was going to do it at home anyways. Why not get together with a bunch of my friends, my family? My mom would have come to a bunch of them and scrapbook together. It was easy, it was convenient, it was something I was going to do anyways. The last item may be a little odd, but it is it's a Walmart. I don't shop at Walmart. Why it's a Walmart one, I don't know. But it's a Walmart grocery bag. And you're thinking, okay, how does that, go with spending time together? Well, believe it or not, I'm one of those weird people that even in today's time, I will call up a friend and I'll be like, I have to go grocery shopping. Hello, I'm a mom. I have a household. I have to go grocery shopping. Why wouldn't you want to take a friend along? They could get their grocery shopping done at the same time. It's these things that we do on a constant basis, that we go through the motions without even thinking about it. You could call your friend, your neighbor down the street and say, "Hey, do you need anything? I could pick something up." You could stop by their house in 5 minutes, but it's 5 minutes that you purposefully invested into somebody else's life, that you thought of them, that you stopped and you said, "Do you need anything?" 5 minutes. Or take your friend with you to the store. You have an hour of conversation. You're getting things done. You know, it's that whole woman thing of, you know, dual process. We're doing two things, killing two birds with one stone. But there's so many of these, like, just common objects that you could look around and be like, you know, I have to do this. Why doesn't someone come with me? That we just don't think about, and that's when we, you know, we give those cop-outs of, I'm too busy. I don't have time to invest into people. I don't have time to invest in relationships. I just, you know, they're what they are. They're excuses, right, girls? So that's what we are focusing on. That's what, you know, kind of the whole theme of last week's homework and going into tonight of, you know, what does it mean to be sisters? What does it mean to be this community? What purpose does it serve when we choose to do life together? Like go grocery shopping or grab a cup of coffee together. Well, I have two ideas, and I challenge you to think of more. The two that I came up with off the top of my head was, for one, it kind of creates selflessness in us. Because, you know, we may meet together and we may talk to a friend and we may think that our whole world, like, is just, you know, the entire world. You know, we're like, my problems are just the worst. You know, nobody has it worse than me. And then we get together with our sister in Christ and we're like, ooh, no, I need to be thanking God because her problems are way worse than mine. And maybe that's a bad comparison in your head, but it's true. It creates selflessness. You're forced to think about others and the people around you, and you don't get so wrapped up and caught up in you know, yourself. The second thing I thought of was it creates encouragement. I remember when I was brand new, first-time mom, and Tyler had gas bubbles so bad, and he would just get so, you know, cranky after eating and stuff. I had no idea what to do. I had just moved to Texas. I knew nobody at this new church. We moved here when Tyler was like a month old. I literally knew like the pastor's wife. That was like my only contact, you know, and no family lived here yet. And so I was at a loss and I was frustrated. And I remember I had to call the pastor's wife and I'm like, what do I do? Well, her kids were like teenagers. She's like, I don't know, but here's a woman in the church. Call her. She's got babies. So I remember I called this woman, didn't really know her, knew kind of who she was, and a simple 5-minute conversation like saved my life when Tyler was a baby because of one little word, Milacon. And if you have babies, you're laughing because you know what that stuff is. But I'm telling you, like, how simple was that this woman took my phone call, she talked to me, she sympathized with me for like 10 minutes, and she gave me encouragement as a new mom and also a great tool to fix my problem. You know, we make things so complicated when we think of community and spending time and investing in relationships when it's really not that hard. So think of some ideas on your own. What purpose does it serve when you choose to do life together? On day 5 of our homework, Beth focused on this need for community. And she asked, how might we in the church unintentionally leave someone feeling orphaned? And I know, like, as Christian believers, that word just strikes a really bad chord in our hearts because we're like, no way. You know, we would never want to make anybody feel orphaned or left out. That's not in our nature. That's not how we operate. But it really is true if we're honest with ourselves. Sometimes we do this unintentionally, key word, unintentionally. And I want to give you a couple examples just to maybe get your mind going there and open your eyes. One thing is, especially among girls, you know, we all get together and we want to plan things that are fun to do together. Well, what about if there's like that one single friend? And all these things you're planning are couple things, you know, things that really, you know, we don't think about that they're couple things, but they really are. And you know how uncomfortable that's making that single friend feel. Is it making her feel left out? Well, maybe. And we may not even realize it. What about interest-based cliques? I was interestingly enough, just talking about this with Taylor earlier, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in our, you know, what are they called? Our interests, you know, the things that we like, where, you know, like scrapbooking. What if I loved scrapbooking so much that the only women I wanted to talk to or that I naturally drew to at church were the scrapbook people? Well, I don't do it intentionally. I didn't mean to. It's what I love. It's who I connect to. But what if there's a couple other girls at that church that I would really have a good time with, that I could really go out and do something fun with, but I don't ever open my eyes to see them because I'm so focused on, well, this is our scrapbook group. We do this all the time. This is our group. And so a lot of times we don't intentionally do it, no, but sometimes, we really need to take a step back and look through a different set of lens, so to speak. So that's kind of what my challenge is to you guys this week. I just want you to commit this week. Look for signs of that in your own life, in your church, And you know what? If God reveals any of that to you, then let's fix it. It's something we can fix. And I mean, seriously, we want to fix, right? We don't want to do these things on purpose. So that's my challenge. Commit this week to look for signs of that. If we're orphaning people or leaving people out unintentionally, and let's fix it. Let's be a sisterhood of community. And I can't say the word sisterhood without thinking of the movie, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And it just draws me to that part in the movie where, they're passing around the letters, and she tells this one part about something going on in her life, and the next, girl that got the pants knew about it, but the other girls hadn't got a chance to know about it yet, and it became this, well, how come I didn't know that? How did she know that? How come I didn't know that? It's this game that we play that we shouldn't play, but we do. But that movie just brought, to my head. And it was always that thing of, there was no intention of the one sisterhood girl, not telling the other sisterhood girls. They just didn't have a chance. And we need to always remember, not to get our feelings hurt when things like that happen, because, we know these girls. I know you girls. If you do something like that to me, I know I'm not going to get offended. I'm not going to get hurt because you didn't mean to do it. And I know you're going to come tell me later, right? That's right. The last part I want to end with is I will actually be giving you an envelope Sunday. Hopefully you have it in hand by now, of a worksheet. You don't have to zoom in on this or anything, but it's called Too Busy. I had to laugh at this. Her example that Beth Moore used was the schedule, a daily schedule of Susan Ever So Busy. Okay? And I literally looked at this schedule. It is very close to verbatim my daily schedule, and I was like, how sad. I'm the Susan Ever So Busy schedule. There's a couple in here that I really thought, like, she's got it way easier than me. Like family devotion time in the morning with her kids before school. I'll be honest, that's not happening at my house. But anyways, the challenge is, look at this paper. I want you to take it out right now, and I want you to look over it. And I want you to say, yes, a little bit, tweak here or there, this could be our schedule. But how could you easily just tweak something just a little bit to make it more purposeful about living life together? And I gave an example. If you look at 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it shows that she's got her lunch break at work. So she's at her desk and she takes a social media break. I'm thinking, well, duh, if you're already doing a social media break, text a friend, see how they're doing. Hey, here's even one better. Call a friend and talk to her, voice to voice where you can hear each other. 5 minutes. It's part of your social media break, but it's a social media break that's on purpose. Look at it, see if there's something else that you could tweak, and then I challenge you to kind of think about your own schedule and what you could just tweak a little bit to live life on purpose this week. I hope you're doing your homework. I hope you're staying with it. It's so worth it, guys. God is going to bring so much blessing and change into your life every time that you draw nearer to Him. He promises to draw nearer to you. So I just encourage you, just stick with it, stay with it, be diligent, and let's be purposeful this week. All right, girls, this is the time. Go ahead and view session 3. Enjoy.